nearly knocked off the Dodgers last year. I was there at the end. Your offense just shut down for the last couple games. The Dodgers had that effect on a lot of people last year. Where do you think you stand right now? Obviously, that's a $399 million payroll, generally very well spent. They still have Kershaw, Otani as a pitcher, and Snell in reserve. They've done nothing to this point. It's a pretty scary team on paper. But anything can happen in a short series, and you have a very talented team. Where do you think you guys stand and stack up to that team?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really the whole NL West. I think we joke about it as the NL West being kind of the SEC of Major League Baseball right now, but and then the National League is very strong. And, I think we've seen it the last few years. We saw the Dodgers in 20 in the playoffs. We saw them again in 22, and then again last year in 24. So we've seen them 3 times in the last 5 years. They're obviously the defending world champs. They added a ton to their roster this offseason. They got guys back healthy. So they're a big challenge. And, I think the D-backs are, a year removed from representing the National League in the playoffs. The Giants, added more guys and got Jung Hoo Lee back this year, and then adding Willie Adames. They're always well run, and you got Buster Posey kind of leading their operation, who seems to be kind of the ultimate winner. So, yeah, it's a stacked division. And the Dodgers, they won it last year. They beat us. So, at the end of the day, we thought we had one of the teams that could have won a World Series. We think we're hopefully as good as we were last year and need to build on it. But I think our group came back super hungry, super motivated. I know Schulte talks about with our players all the time. We've gotten off to a good start, but we know it's going to be a big time challenge. And the biggest thing is that you come out of the National League or the NL West and you're battle tested, for sure. You're not kind of sneaking in anymore with 87 wins in the NL West. It may be that way in some other scenarios. But for us, you're going to have to win a lot of ball games. You're going to have to play great game, great throughout the season consistently. That's just the nature of it. And again, like you understand the NL West, every year the faces change and the names change, but teams are going to keep adding. They're going to keep, bringing players throughout their systems that are going to be competitive. That's the nature of it. I think it makes you better as an executive and as an organization.
AJ, it leads to something. I asked Buster Posey about this when he was nice enough to join the show recently. And I know you grew up a Yankee fan, you're an aficionado of the era. It always seemed to me that the Yankees pushed, especially the Red Sox, to go to an uncomfortable level as far as accumulating talent, salary, etc. I wonder if the NL West is becoming kind of like the new AL East, to your point. You're not getting in with 86 or 87 or rudimentary talent. Are the Dodgers forcing all of you guys to go places like if you want to keep up with the Joneses, this is what's going to be necessary, whether it's Corbin Burns in Arizona, Willie Adames in San Francisco, your accumulation of talent. Are they kind of like what the Yankees were in the late 90s, forcing, if you're in their division, you better go to these places?
I think more like the New York columnists were at that time when it was like Verducci leads to Sherman, leads to Heyman, Feinstein mixed in, Bill Madden is kind of the veteran team you knew was going to be there all the time. You were always looking to see who was going to one up the other guy. I was thumbing
This
through
is
my
even more
paper every
impressive than
morning.
your Japanese.
Yeah, I was thumbing through. I needed to, I needed more information. So yeah, that was always like I'm sure you guys felt that competition. We feel that the same way. No, I think it's an interesting, I think, you see the debates this offseason about the super team and the value of the super teams. I think it does. Like it does make, you look at the Yankees, Red Sox, I kind of watched that documentary here a few months ago when it was out talking about the 03, 04 Red Sox. I think excellence always forces other teams to raise the bar, like in any industry, any field, et cetera. So, again, you can debate, what it all means, everything, but I do think when you know that the bar is raised and the bar is high, in whatever arena you're in, and for us in the National League West, and having a team and teams there that push you. I think that's all part of what we've seen. It's kind of an arms race in the National League, and I think you see it in the other divisions as well.